Rotary Club of Rajahmundry University and RI District 3020, we welcome you all for the district conference on. I am really blessed and fortunate to welcome you all on behalf of the Rotary, being the oldest and most vibrant service organization in the world. I affectionately solicit your happy participation and cooperation to make this mega event a grand success. It's my pleasure to invite Rotarian PVSS Dorababu, President of Rotary Club of Rajahmundry University, onto the dais. I invite Rotarian Vata Veerbhadrarao, also called as Raja, the chairman of the conference committee, onto the dais. I wholeheartedly invite our district governor, Arch Clump Society member, Rotarian AKS Bhaskarram V, onto the dais. We are immensely grateful and glad to invite the distinguished Rotary International Residence Representative, Rotarian Sharath Jain to occupy the chair on the dais. With profound gratitude, I invite Sri V. Ram Badhav Garu to grace the district conference as the chief guest. Please, sir.
A very good morning to our chief guest, Sri V. Ram Madhav Garu, RI President nominee, Sri Sharath Jain Garu, RI officers, eminent speakers, DGB Bhaskarram, Rotarians, ants, anids, Rotractors, guests, last but not the least, the logistics and support team and media. On behalf of the host club, Rotary Club of Rajahmundry University, a warm welcome to you all for the Rotary District Conference, Aananditham 2023. It is an honor to host the District Conference Aananditham in Rajamahendravaram, a city which holds culture, literature and glory in the history. And we are all proud that Rajahmundry is the hometown for legendaries like Adikavi Nannaya, Veerasalingam Pantulu Garu and many more to name. And also it's a center for Vedic culture. Rotary Club of Rajahmundry University assures every delegate and participant to benefit excellent knowledge not only in Rotary but also in several fields about which the eminent speakers would enlighten us upon. There are also several cultural activities and entertainment programs which would be an eye candy to all the viewers. I solicit the support from every delegate to maintain the decorum and discipline throughout the event. A gentle reminder to every Rotarian is that they should carry their accreditation card at all times, as the same would be required for scanning at the House of Friendship and also for the food arena. I request all the delegates to attend the plenary sessions in the coming 2 days. I hope this conference is going to be a great success, as our conference team has put in immense efforts and also worked out last minute details to the best extent possible to ensure that the delegates are comfortable. From the bottom of my heart, I request all the delegates to kindly excuse us for any minor deficiencies that we might have committed. I thank you all for the wonderful opportunity to be part of this prestigious platform and for giving me this great opportunity. Thank you very much. And over to me, Bhaskarram of District Governor.
It's always auspicious to request the blessings of the God through lighting the lamp. And here we have today all the guests with their blissful attires as well as the presentation. They are lighting the lamp to invoke the blessings of Almighty. The whole team, the club president, secretary, along with the district governor and the guest of today, and RIPR, have a lighted lamp.
Stage. Proceedings. Okay. Respected President Dorbabu, Conference Chair Hoda Veerbhadrarao Raja, Rotary International President's Representative Rotarian Sharath Jain, representing Rotary International President Jennifer Jones, and the chief guest of today's function and also of the conference, Sri Ram Madhavji, distinguished regional leaders of Rotary, distinguished past district governors of District 3020 and also from other districts, distinguished Rotarians from different clubs, ladies and gentlemen. So you all know that the district conference is an event of great pride for a district governor who is going to perform only for 12 months. At the same time, within the short time that is available, a district governor has to showcase many things that he has already planned and set as his own goals for himself and also for the team. And what a vibrant District 3020 is. For the sake of information and for the knowledge of the people on the dais, I say that District 3020 comprises of 6 revenue districts of Andhra Pradesh. Starting up north, Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, Visakhapatnam, East Godavari, West Godavari and Krishna. This is geographically the Rotary District 3020. And we have as many as 85 very, very vibrant clubs and as many as about 5,900 Rotarians. And Rotary District 3020 always made a mark in Rotary India. We have such wonderful legends in our district who have performed very greatly in their tenures. And having stepped into the legacy, things have been made very, very easy for a person like me working in 2023. I am greatly blessed with all my past district governors, who is the think tank of Rotary District 3020. Nobody can be greatly blessed like this. We have regional leaders amongst us. I recognize the presence of Ravi Dhotre from Pune, is the regional coordinator membership. And again, my good friend Kishore, who is the RPEC Regional Public Image Coordinator, Zone 7. And also we have Bharat Reddy from Nellore, who is the End Polio Now Coordinator, Zone 7. And we have the ARRFC, Dr. G.V. Mohan Prasad, for districts 3020 and 3150. And we also have ARC Veerabhadra Reddy, who is my district trainer, Bobby. And such wonderful senior Rotarians who always gave a pat on my back to go ahead with whatever I have had as a plan. Dear friends, with the cooperation of all the clubs and the energetic leaders that we have, we could show in Zone 7 that 3020 is standing so tall in terms of membership. And I'm sure Ravi Dhotre vets it. And except for a few turbulences here and there, but I'm quite sure that we are going to perform on a very sustained basis. And by the end of 30th of June, when I give up my tenure, I'll make Ravi Dhotre a very, very proud man. So Rotary District 3020 thus is going to see a new number in terms of membership and also a new number in terms of club extensions, which we have done wonderfully well during this year. It is not with any sense of complacency that I am talking about this, but let me say that my district secretary membership and my district chair club extensions have worked so hard to charter as many as 7 Rotary clubs in the first 6 months. It is not to blow my own trumpet or the trumpet of District 3020. But let me tell you that district conference is always a moment where you can share such good news to motivate young leaders who will be working in the next year and then thereafter. During this year, dear friends, you have seen how District 3020 has catapulted itself into a good public image model by conducting the Rotary Premier League. It's a cricket tournament. We have played in a test cricket ground in Visakhapatnam, and as many as 38 teams have participated in this. And all the credit goes to the RPL chair, C.R. Mohan, who is with us today. He is from the Andhra Cricket Association and is the media manager. And as much as about $120,000 have been collected to augment the funds of the Rotary Foundation. Thank you, CR. And also, all the credit goes to Rotarian Kishore and his wonderful team, which has done the Rotary Zonal Institute in Visakhapatnam in the first week of December. And we have shown what Visakhapatnam and District 3020 can do. Hats off to Kishore, who has done a wonderful job and who has brought in all the RI officers from different parts of the country. Ravi ji, koi hai? Can you? No, if I spoke anything wrong, I stand corrected. So then again, during the Vishaka Institute, we have done a wonderful charity project called Operation Imagine, and it has been convened by Rotarian Ravi Vatlamani, who is also incidentally here. I request Ravi to, and also very well organized and curated by none other than my guru and my mentor Tiku and my brother. And dear friends, these are the kinds of people with whom you associate in Rotary. And as a leader, these are the people who give a pat on your back to see that you do a fantastic job in Rotary because you had a commitment to serve. And incidentally, I also hail the efforts of Rotarian Lakaraju Satyanarayana Tiku for the fantastic efforts that he has put in during last year and having stood first in the country as RRFC, the Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator. And this year we are committed, dear friends, that we'll do a very good job. We'll make the clubs vibrant and active. We'll attend to the clubs which are inactive, which needs a little nursing and rehabilitation. We have formed various teams and we are planning towards a lovely growth by the end of this year. And even as far as Rotary Foundation contributions is concerned, we have already touched about 1.6 lakh US, and I'm quite sure by the time I give up my office on 30th of June, it is going to touch $1 million for sure. Because we have adequate promises towards endowment named funds. We have 2 Arts Club Society members, and for the sake of Ram Madhavji, an Arts Club Society member is one who contributes $250,000 and above to the Rotary Foundation. And a lot of people are enthused and motivated within the district to come forward to see that they are going to become Arts Club Society members because they believe in what he does. And they believe and have immense faith on Rotary because of the status that it enjoys. And lastly, I would like to touch upon a little about the global grants which will start from 1st of February. My district grants chair is here, G. Vishwanath. So we are going to work hard, DRFC, myself and the district grants chair, and we'll take up different kinds of projects that the clubs have showcased, and if they fit into the the grid of the global grant, we'll see that the global grants will be processed. And even before that, I need to tell my grants chair and other good friends that I already came into contact with 8 foreign international partners. They are ready to tie up with us and they are ready to participate in the global grants. And I know that we have, and I'm quite sure that, sir, we are going to follow all those advices that you have given to us. And lastly, I would want all the delegates who have come here to enjoy a wonderful conference. But otherwise, with the schedule that he has, it is very, very difficult to cope up. And since it is Rotary and being dealt with by all of you, he evinced a little bit of interest to join us today and to motivate us with his lovely address. I thank each and everyone here, and please enjoy the conference for the next 2 days. Thank you.
Rotary International President Representative Rotarian Sharath Jain ji. Cochlear implant surgeries for hearing and speech impaired children. This was ranked #1 project of Rotary 2016 Zonal Institute at Dubai. Sharath Jain ji generated more than $750,000 for TRF for the district, of which $170,000 were contributed by his own club. He was instrumental in establishing 4 endowments, including a personal and 2 pooled endowments to celebrate 100 years of Rotary Foundation. He has handled important assignments like the Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator, Committee Chair, Rise Rotary Zonal Institute, Director Council Representative, District Rotary Foundation Chair, Honorary Secretary, the Cancer Foundation, and National Executive Committee Member, Rotary India Sanitation, Mission and National Committee Member, Child Development. There are so many more feathers in his cap, and he has been a recipient of many awards and recognitions, especially he was awarded for the highest growth in women membership, rank 2 in Zone 4, for generous contribution to End Polio Fund, and he has received the Governor's Elite Award, the Best Rotarian of District Award, Governor's Elite Award in 2012-13 as well as 2013-14. Children, Shreya, Shukti and Rachit, all highly accomplished. Welcome, sir, to Rajamandri.
Now may I request Rotarian Shri Sharath Jain ji to give an address on Imagine Rotary, and I thank the Rotary International President Jennifer Jonas to represent her through Sharath Jain ji as RIPR. Sir, I request you to give your valuable message on Imagine Rotary.
Thank you so much. Can we get some lights put on the back side so that I can see the audience? Thank you so much. Good morning, friends. Little louder. Everyone has had a breakfast. I know you've traveled, but we should be fresh in the morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. District Governor Bhaskarram and Suchitra ji, Chief Guest, ex-BJP National Secretary, Shri Ram Madhav ji, esteemed colleagues from Council of Governors of 3020, visiting Rotarians, Presidents, Secretaries, especially the organizing team members of this beautiful conference. I bring you a message from President Jennifer Jones and Nick for a successful and enjoyable conference at this wonderful venue today and tomorrow. Welcome to all of you. Conference Chair, Past President Bhota Raja and Arpana ji, co-chairs. I think it's been a very well organized conference, and the content I've seen of the agenda is completely what Rotary wants us to do. Even the speakers which are coming from outside are focusing on the areas of focus which Rotary Foundation has mandated. And that's the way a conference has to be. I also know that there is an evening entertainment program, so it's going to be a mix of information and entertainment. And I think all of us together will enjoy it. So it's great to be here. Of course, DG Bhaskarram talked about a meeting which we had with the Council of Governors. I knew many of them before I came, but of course, when I go back, I will have a pleasure of knowing each one of you. And it is such a great feeling, and this is what Rotary gives you. While coming to this venue yesterday, I was talking to my aide, Arvind Jain, and I said, in Rotary, only thing you get is this friendship. And the occasions we get as RIPR or other assignments is to know and develop long-term friendship. And to each one of you friends sitting there, that is also the purpose of conference, to tell you what the district is doing, but more importantly, make you meet people and form bonds which you will carry throughout your life. So I think it's very important, these conferences. Of course, a showcase event for Governor Bhaskarram, but also a showcase event for the entire district, because this is where you get a chance to find out what other clubs are doing. So wonderful. Once again, a great time. Let me start my address with a small but a meaningful story. And this story is about a beggar who goes out in the morning, he collects a few alms, and he's moving ahead, and like every day, he knows it's going to be a big struggle the whole day, because it'll take time before he gets enough to be happy for that day. Somewhere on the road, while he was walking, he sees a chariot coming closer, and there is a king sitting on the chariot. And what does that king do? He stops right next to the beggar, and the beggar is now very happy. He knows his day is made. King will obviously reward him, and not only today, but probably he won't have to work for many days thereafter, and he'll be happy to have a wonderful meal tonight. But to his surprise, the king gets down, and instead of giving him something, he asks him for alms. Beggar is surprised. He couldn't understand why king is doing that. He thought it is a joke, but he didn't have courage to do anything. So king says, "What can you give me today?" And the beggar is perplexed. He's never given anything in life, only received. And it was very difficult for him to even conceive that something has to be given. So what does he do? He thinks, but very reluctantly he puts his hand into his bag and takes out a small piece of grain and hands it over to the king. King smiles and moves away. The poor beggar, he thought his day was made, but his day was spoiled, because whatever little he had also had to be given away. He goes home and as usual he empties his bag upside down. And what does he see? He sees a small grain of gold being replaced in place of what he gave to the king. And of course other things he had were just as it is. So the message which this story gives you, friends, is we get in life what we give. And this is all, I think each one of you, each of us as Rotarians, we are givers. And this is a true message that more you give, more you get. And I start my speech from here with some messages and some priorities which President Jennifer Jones has set for each one of us. And let me start, since I talked about giving, let me start with foundation. So as you all know, Rotary Foundation was created in 1970 by late President Arch Klump. And it started with a corpus contribution of $26.50 US, which was a surplus out of a convention. And this is how it began, and all of you know where we stand today. It is a foundation which has a corpus in excess of $1.2 billion. We have done service projects close to about $4 billion out of contributions from funds contributed by each one of you. So what is the priority the President wants us to take? One is to continue supporting Bill and Melinda Gates 2-to-1 match. I hope most of you are aware that every dollar we contribute is matched to 2 by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Not only this year, it has been happening for many years. And all of us know that the single largest priority of Rotary is to end polio in the world. And even though we've been greatly successful, still there are few places, and there have been recent cases detected in UK, US, and therefore we as Rotarians, our first duty is to fulfill our commitment to the world and continue to contribute to polio and the polio fund. So that is one clear priority which President Jennifer has, and I would like to convey to you to continue to support that priority, because very often we get complacent and say there is no polio in India and why should we support? So don't do that. Till the time polio remains anywhere in the world, it has a potential to come back and strike us with vengeance. So let's fight against that together. There is a need to support annual fund through contributions, and one of the means which is very popular in some of the districts is to create Paul Harris Society members. Now, by creating Paul Harris Society members, what are we doing? We are ensuring that there is a commitment of $1,000 US to be paid by the Paul Harris Society member every year. And if you can continue to create a pool of these members, it gives you immediate access to funds every year for the annual fund, which all of you know are our backbone and used to fund our service projects 3 years later. So that's a very, very important aspect. this is one area where foundation is suffering. We've seen surge in contributions, but somehow the contributions to annual funds have been not adequate, and that is really affecting our ability to execute service projects. So that's very important, and I would want you to continue to do that. Another very important program of Rotary Foundation, many of you know, I don't know how much it is being used in this district, is to support Rotary Peace Fellows to go and get trained at the Rotary Peace Centers. This is not a very often talked about subject, but I think it is great because it is something which differentiates Rotary from many other service organizations. I am not sure if other service organizations like us have a concept of peace centers, and what we can do by creating these peace fellows is something you won't even know. I will actually narrate anecdote which President Jennifer shared in her speech to the governor-elects at International Assembly. And this is about a peace scholar stuck in Afghanistan. So she says that someone approached her, and there is a peace scholar, and this is about 2021 when there was takeover by Taliban, and she was stuck in Afghanistan, and someone came to her, she was president-elect, and said, can you help in getting this lady out of Afghanistan? She didn't know, but like our Rotarians, for a good cause we will do anything. And she remembered a peace fellow who she had met, and she contacted him. And very soon that lady was on a flight out of Afghanistan onto Europe. So this is what Rotary can do, and this is what our peace fellows can do. So this is a very important aspect. Kindly promote this as much as possible, because today the biggest deficiency beside whatever we do is to have peace in our communities, in our country, and especially in the world. So very important. Rotary's founder, Paul Harris, believed that serving humanity is the most worthwhile thing a person can do. So my recommendation to you, and of course DG Bhaskarram talked about, is to do meaningful projects in the areas of focus. And why should we work on areas of focus? It's a very important aspect. Very often this question is asked, why can't I do a project in any area? Why do we have to stick to the 7 areas of focus? Friends, the answer is very simple. When you work in the areas of focus, you are joining hands with other Rotarians in your district, in the country, and internationally, and creating an impact, which is also a public image impact, plus a social impact, on a much larger scale than what you would be able to do if each one was doing a project in his own area. So that's the only reason why we would do that, and therefore the recommendation is, whenever we think of projects, think of the Rotary focus areas, choose what you like, but work with other clubs, with other districts, with other countries, and do projects which are impactful, large, and can make a big social difference. So that's as far as social. Now let me come to some membership priorities. Of course, we have Ravi Dhotre here. We'll talk more about that. I'm going to just touch upon it. I will also talk about the state of membership tomorrow in my address. And basically the message is that our clubs have become flexible, and the ways we meet, way we structure our clubs is completely changed. So you start adapting to that. Some of my own observation is we continue to operate the clubs the way we used to operate many years back. While at COL and other places, and I have my colleague here, past Governor Mohan, who me and he both were there at the current COL, we are taking many actions to make changes in Rotary which are in line with today's reality. So we should use the new flexible club structure and promote that. One of them is passport clubs. How many of you sitting there, they must be presidents, are aware of a passport club? Is there anyone who's aware? Yes or no? There are 2 at the back. Wonderful. Those people should actually be sitting in the front. This is a unique concept, and many districts don't even know about it. They are not promoting it. but this is the extreme amount of flexibility Rotary is providing to create a club. It is a club of members who actually don't even need to meet themselves. They can go and attend a meeting of any Rotary club anywhere in the world. Of course, that concept has existed for years, and Rotarians have been making up their attendance in other clubs, but here that is not the concept. Here it is to build a flexible environment of being able to attend a meeting or a service project at their own convenience. So this is the change which is happening in membership, and of course President Jennifer wants to promote that. Two main changes which also Rotary wants to bring. One is women in Rotary, and our target is to get to a number of 30% women members by 2023. There are about 100 odd countries where we already have women to exceed 30% numbers, but there is a lot more to be done there. The feather in the cap, however, is Rotaract. In Rotaract, we already have more than 50% women members. Are there Rotaractors here? So can we have a big round of applause for you guys for first achieving the Rotary objective? And of course, I hope Rotarians will catch up with you in maybe 1 year or 2 years' time, but the target actually for 30% is 2023, which is this year. So that is one thing we have to work on. Second, of course, is youth. And you know, Rotaract has now become, or Rotaractors are full members of Rotary International. And the reason is we see them as our future. And I think it is our responsibility to get as many youth as possible into Rotary. Rotaractors can work on their own. They can also be dual members of Rotary. So whichever way you can involve them, please not only create Rotaract clubs, but ensure they are at various forums and various levels in Rotary. On our own, President Jennifer has ensured that many Rotaractors are there on RI committees this year, and that is what we should also do if we talk about our own districts. Now on to the theme, and I think that is the most important part of my speech today. So what is the theme we have this year? Can we have it in a big? Imagine Rotary, imagine Rotary. And President Jennifer wants members to imagine possibilities in the change they can make to transform the world. And that is the message. You know, it is not just imagining. Whatever you imagine has to be converted into action. And that action should lead to something significant for the world at large. In her presidential theme, Imagine Rotary, she urges people to dream big, harness their connections and power of Rotary to turn those dreams into reality. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. And I think this is something we have to believe in. We have to believe that Rotarians can make a difference, because we are collectively now 1.4 million Rotarians. And even when Bhaskarram was talking about it, he talked about a membership base of about 5,700 members in this district. So everywhere when we take the collective strength of Rotarians, we can make a significant difference. Imagine a world without polio, imagine a world with clean water for everyone, imagine a world free of disease, a world where every child learns to read, imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. Friends, we have dreams, however acting on them is a choice we make. When an organization like Rotary dreams about big things, like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility, it becomes your responsibility to make it happen. You don't imagine yesterday, President Jennifer has said, you imagine tomorrow. Very important. You see, we just should forget what happened in the past. We should think about future, and we should imagine things which we can do in future and make them happen. Some of the other presidential initiatives is comfort and care. Rotary has important role to play to ensure that club environments and experience is welcoming to members. Very, very important. You know, this is something we've been talking about. We keep talking about memberships, but the biggest reason for members to stay in a club is that they should feel comfortable, they should feel happy, and they should feel the purpose for which they join the club is being achieved by staying in the club. Empowering girls is another major initiative, and impact and reach throughout the Rotary year is the third one. Of course, President Jones has put special emphasis on the growth of Rotaractors. So I wanted to just convey all these special initiatives for all of you to understand which is the direction in which the RI President wants you to work on. There are three strategic priorities of Rotary, which I should again dwell briefly on. It is impact, reach and engagement. So create an impact, reach as many people as possible, spread the awareness of Rotary and engage participants, and engagement is a priority as far as members are concerned. Public image, an area all of us are aware, Rotary is really focusing because we do great work, but many times no one knows that that work is done by us. I have seen situations where even beneficiaries are not aware that the work which has been done by Rotary. So it's very, very important that we take initiatives for public image. Brand maintenance is also a priority, and that is why you see so many initiatives being made around the Rotary brand. DEI, and I'll talk a little more about it tomorrow, which is diversity, equity and inclusion, is the new buzzword in Rotary, and this is something we are promoting for empowering members in the club. Let me talk about it more in details tomorrow. And finally, let me just convey to you a message on behalf of the word President, and it is about the convention. I know one of my aides, Ramesh, told me that there are already about 25 registrations to the International Convention at Melbourne, and I'm sure you will probably make that number as 50 or maybe closer to 100. But to all my friends sitting at the back who've not been to a convention, it is a life-changing experience. You know, I've been to so many conventions, 20 to 40,000 Rotarians, you virtually start owning the city. And every person you meet on a bus, on a transport, in a venue, is a Rotarian from some country. So kind of relationships you can build, kind of excitement which gets created by knowing what others are doing, and kind of ideas which are generated. There is no other place than the Rotary Convention. So once again, I invite you on behalf of President Jones to Rotary this year's convention at Melbourne on 27 to 31st May 2023. Kindly be there in the largest possible numbers. Of course, I am sure your team, promotion team is working, and they would ensure both registrations and your comfort at the convention. But you must have this initiative. To understand Rotary in its fullest sense, convention is the only opportunity. Please use that. Thank you so much, and thanks DG Bhaskarram once again. It's a complete pleasure. Last few days I went to Tirupati again, thanks to our DG. I bring for all of you blessings from Lord Venkateshwara, and I'm here today, and of course I'm looking forward to wonderful 2 days at the conference. Keep enjoying, keep learning Rotary, and keep meeting each other. Thank you so much.